Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Akash, I will pass it over to you now.
Okay, great. Thank you. So good morning, everybody. My name is Akash Arya. I am a partner at M&P, and I'm delighted to have the opportunity to address you for a few moments and introduce your speaker today, Jorge Meneses, for today's Business Growth Series session, Google Ads versus Search Engine Optimization. M&P is the leading national accounting, tax, and business consulting firm in Canada. We proudly serve and respond to the needs of our clients in the public, private, and not-for-profit sectors. We are proud to support organizations like the Chamber of Commerce, a partnership that aligns with our entrepreneurial spirit and exemplifies our values of leadership, excellence, and commitment to enhancing our communities where we live and work. So it's my pleasure again to introduce your speaker this morning. So Jorge began his digital marketing career with WSI in 2011, gaining unparalleled experience in the online marketing space, while also establishing himself as a respected expert in paid search advertising. Currently with Toro Digital, Jorge is widely known for his local visibility and online reputation experience. Based in Cambridge, Jorge is best known for his contributions to Movember and founded the Mo Poker fundraiser in 2016 in honor of his dad. With the help of some local partners, he has been able to raise a total of $19,017 over that time period. When he isn't busy running Toro Digital and Cambridge Palette, you can find him playing golf, hockey, traveling, or spending time with family and friends. One of the most important things people don't know about Jorge is that he can cook minute rice in 58 seconds. Please help me welcome Jorge.
Thank you, Akash. The great introduction. Okay, I'm gonna start sharing my screen. 1 second to get to my, well, 1 second, here we go. You guys let me know once you can see the presentation. Can you guys see the presentation there?
Yeah, we can see it.
Awesome. So Melissa, will you be able to monitor the chat? And if anybody has any questions, we can probably get to those hopefully at the end. We can answer a lot of the questions. And then we'll have some polls as we go along too. And Melissa, when we get to the polls, then I'll ask you to launch those as well.
Sounds good.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about pay-per-click ads or Google ads versus SEO, search engine optimization. All right, well, there we go. So the key takeaways that I'd like to share with you today is a little bit of an introduction to online marketing and advertising. What are Google ads or pay-per-click ads? What is SEO, search engine optimization? How can they lead or drive visibility and leads? What's the difference between the two? And how to choose the best strategy for your business. So Melissa, if you could launch the first poll, that would be great. So the first poll is, have you tried digital marketing for your business? We'll give you a few seconds. I can't see it, Melissa. Is it launched?
Can you see it now, Jorge?
Nope, I can't see it. But the participants might be able to see it.
Yeah, they have. I did share it.
Okay.
Box just might not be up on your end.
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll give everybody a few seconds and then Melissa will close the poll and hopefully share the results. All right, Melissa, if you could close the poll and share what the results are with everybody.
I have shared the results.
Okay. For some reason, I can't see them, but that's okay. What are the results saying?
So the PPC pay per click, about 44%.
That's quite a few.
SEO is 75%.
Oh, nice.
Social media is 100%.
Everybody's using social.
And other is 13%.
Nice. So quite a few people are doing some sort of online marketing. So let's talk about the difference between SEO and PPC. So this is an image of a Google search. When you go into a Google search engine and you punch in a few keywords. So at the top of the page, you're going to see the paid results, the ads. And then in the body, you're going to get the organic results. And in the organic results, the SEO, search engine optimization, that'll also include Google Maps, Google My Business, and then about 10 organic results. And you don't see it here in this image, but at the bottom, sometimes Google will share other pay-per-click results as well. So this is typically what you're going to see when you do a Google search for a specific keyword or business that you're looking for. So what is SEO? SEO is getting organically visible for your website. Search engine optimization is the practice of including content on your site that has the possibility of becoming visible to improve your visibility within search engines for their users. In other words, you can help your site show up more often in relative searches for your types of keywords that you want to be found for. There's typically no cost to appear in organic search results on Google, and making small changes to your website with an eye on SEO can greatly impact your rankings. When we say there's no cost to SEO, there is cost in time you have to spend. And if you're paying an expert to do it, that's going to incur some cost as well. So on-page SEO. On-page SEO is the act of optimizing different parts of your website that affect your search engine rankings. So where your website appears in the search engine results page is determined by a number of factors, which include accessibility, page speed, optimized content, keywords, title tags, etc. There's lots of different stuff. And this is all stuff that you can control on your own website. For some reason, this is not flipping. There we go. Okay, on-page SEO strategies. So publishing high quality content is probably the most important factor for SEO. And I'll show a little bit of a graph a little later on percentages, but high quality content is the best way to rank and the fastest way to rank. Optimizing your page titles and meta descriptions is the second most highest way to rank. And then they're not in direct order, but optimizing content, the headings, SEO image sizing, the URL optimization, external links, internal links, page load speed is very important. Mobile friendliness, making sure you have a mobile friendly website. Most searches nowadays are done on mobile phones. And if your website's not mobile friendly, that will really impact your search engine optimization rankings. And then obviously content and on-page SEO will impact those as well. So off-page factors. Off-page SEO focuses on increasing authority for your domain through an active links from other websites. So a very, highly ranked link would be something like Facebook, LinkedIn. Those types of links are very highly rated and will help your off-page SEO rankings as well. Some off-page SEO ranking strategies. So brand mentions, comments, forums, influencer outreach, guest authors on blogs, link building, social networking, social bookmarking, And then content marketing, questions and answers. You can do a lot of that on LinkedIn as well, and newsletters or email marketing, that type of stuff will help as well. And then this is the graph that I was talking about a little earlier, the pie graph. So this kind of breaks down the percentages of rank factors for each of those. So as you can see, content publishing of engaging content will take into effect 26% of your ranking factor. Keywords and meta tag titles, about 22%, 16% for backlinks, and then it kind of breaks it down from there. Mobile friendliness at about 4%, but these are kind of the rankings and what percentage each one will help you rank on SEO. So like anything, there's proper ways to do SEO, and then people trying to hack the system and do it, I won't say illegally, but not the right way to do it. So black hat SEO techniques, technically, when you're talking about search engines like Google, they don't like these types of techniques, and they can and have in the past blacklisted sites off their search engines for these types of techniques. So if your site gets blacklisted on Google, it is a hard process to get it back. So what we do is we highly recommend doing things the way Google likes it, which is white hat techniques, relevant content, linking and getting links from relevant industry sources, optimizing your image and labels, relevant page title and tags, and natural keyword density. So keyword stuffing, where you use too many keywords on a page or a website, Google definitely doesn't like that. And they will, bring your rankings down, slow down where you start to rank on Google. And then if you do a lot of these, types of things, buy-in backlinks, that type of stuff from different countries that aren't relative to your website or not even in the same region, that will, highlight that with Google. And typically, they won't blacklist your website unless you're doing too many of these things. But I have seen it in the past with clients that they come to me and say, hey, my site has been blacklisted on Google. How can I get it back? And the process is very tedious to try to get that site back live on Google search engines. So when it comes to search engine optimization, there's a couple of steps, and it's a long process. So first, you got to start getting noticed by the search engines. Then your keywords will start to rank. When your keywords start to rank, then your position will move up within the search engines. And you want to obviously be on page 1 in the top 10 positions. Once you start to become visible on the top page, then the traffic will start to flow to your website. From there, people will start to convert, filling out forms, calling your phone number, that type of stuff, connecting with you. And then you'll see the transactions roll in. Typically, it's a longer process than PPC for search engine optimization. And here are a few of the SEO metrics that are looked at for rankings: click-through rate, conversion rate, bounce rate, average time on a page, impressions, qualified leads, organic traffic, page speed. These are all important and the right types of metrics to be looking at when you're doing SEO to get your website ranked. So the benefits of SEO: long-term solution for high Google rankings. So this is not a quick, fast way to get yourself ranked up there, especially if you're ranking on page 10 or more. To get yourself up to page 1, it's going to take a long time. And it also depends on how competitive your industry is. If you have a very competitive industry, there's lots of businesses out there doing SEO, that typically could make the process even longer. Getting organic leads to lower abandonment rates. You do not have to pay for clicks. It's a higher trust rate for customers versus ads. So I do have people that say, hey, I never click on an ad, but with the data that we have, 35% or so click on the ads at the top of a page. So there are some benefits for SEO over ads. Obviously the lower cost, but people do click on ads for speed, and it's very visible at the top of a page. And then obviously Google and search engines love optimized sites. So the more optimized your website is, the more traffic, the higher ranking you're going to get on a Google search engine. So 85% of searchers never click past the first page of results. So I think this is kind of probably a little bit higher. Most people that are using Google search engines will click in a search term. If they don't see the results on page 1, they don't click typically to page 2. What they do is they typically will input a different search term to find what they want. So if you're not on page 1 or very highly rated, your business could be invisible on a Google search engine or other types of search engines. So pay-per-click. So Google Ads or pay-per-click is an advertising solution that allows businesses and website owners like yourself to bid on a chance to show an ad next to a Google search, right when people are looking for what you have to offer. You only pay for the clicks or when people visit your site or call your business. Like you can show up, your ad can show up multiple times, but if nobody clicks on the ad, you're not going to pay for that. And you can definitely tweak where your ads show up. You can tweak that by city. You can tweak that by postal code. You can tweak that by province, country. Obviously, you can tweak what time of day your ads show up. And it's a great resource for small businesses, right? And if you don't want to update your SEO on a regular basis, this is a different way to do it and get quicker results. And you can make changes a lot quicker with pay-per-click as opposed to SEO. So what are the main differences between SEO and pay-per-click? So SEO is an organic position. So basically the bottom half of the page is the organic positions. Pay-per-click is the paid positions at the top of the page and the very bottom of the page. SEO will give you traffic over time. Pay-per-click is immediate traffic. You're going to start to see traffic right away. SEO is long-term results. Pay-per-click is immediate results. You could run an ad today and start getting phone calls and messages tomorrow. Ongoing process for SEO. Pay-per-click, generally, you set it up one time and you can run it as long as you want. SEO improves visibility. Pay-per-click improves sales. And then SEO free, lower cost. Pay-per-click is obviously you have to pay for it. And when we say that SEO is free, you still have to invest time to learn the factors if you're going to do it yourself, or if you're going to pay somebody to do it, there's a cost in that as well. So a couple of other differences. Google Ads for sites that use Google AdSense. So AdWords works on the types of, obviously a Google search. It also works on websites that allow Google AdSense to be on their site. AdWords is paid traffic. AdWords appears at the top of a Google search under the results for certain conditions, and ad positions will change. Typically, they'll show 3 to 4 ads at the top and maybe 2 to 3 ads at the bottom of a Google search. AdWords is more immediate as opposed to SEO. AdWords is easier to calculate your ROI for sure. If you spend $500 on Google Ads and your return on investment is $2,000, That's easy to calculate as opposed to SEO. When you stop doing AdWords, the traffic stops. Obviously, if you're not paying for ads anymore, you're not going to see any more traffic from the AdWords campaigns. With AdWords, you can target many keywords at the same time. You can have a whole list of keywords, thousands of keywords you want to target. And with AdWords, you can advertise on Google websites and also websites that use Google AdSense, not specifically just a Google.ca or Google.com. So with SEO, the search engine is organic traffic, is typically free. With SEO, you have to work harder to get to the top of the organic search results as opposed to AdWords, where, you know, if you pay for it, you can get to the top. Calculating the ROI for SEO is a little bit more difficult. You're going to spend a lot of time if you're going to do it yourself. Obviously, if you're going to pay somebody, you got to calculate the results of revenue that you're going to generate through your rankings. Once you start getting organic traffic with SEO, it'll continue long term. One of the things that I find clients do sometimes, if we run an SEO campaign for them for, say, a year process, and then they decide to stop, your rankings will start to slowly diminish because your competition will continue to do SEO. It'll take a little bit of time, but over time, if you don't continue to do SEO, you will drop and your rankings will drop, and typically you'll drop off of page one eventually over time. And with SEO, you need to focus on a few keywords for the best results. So you focus on the best keywords that are going to give you the best results for your business. The results for SEO are only on search pages, so they don't show up on other pages, other websites like AdSense websites would do. So which is better for your business, Google Ads or SEO? And again, it depends on your business. Google Ads work best for companies that focus on leads and sales. This strategy is best for companies that want to see immediate results and are able to monitor their effort as soon as they launch a campaign. SEO works best if you're looking to generate a steady flow of traffic over time or increase brand awareness. So with little time and effort, you can optimize your website for search and help your business drive more traffic. So you have to kind of pick what your goal is. So on this page here, you know, is your goal sales? Is your goal more leads? Is your goal web traffic? Is it brand awareness? You know, app promotion, that type of stuff. Once you pick your goal, then it's going to give you a better idea if you should go with pay-per-click or SEO. With the Google Ads campaign, you can structure it in different ways, right? So for example, if this was a garage and they were running two different campaigns, one campaign for winter tire changes, and then one campaign for oil changes, they could structure those campaigns differently and use different ad groups and keywords in each of those campaigns. So when somebody's searching for a winter tire change, that's going to drive it to that campaign. If somebody was searching for an oil change, then that's going to drive it to a different campaign with different keywords to be visible. So the benefits of Google Ads. So your website's going to show up in the first page, typically at the top of the page, within the first 1 to 5 spots. You can really hone in on local targeting. Like we said, about zip codes, cities. You can actually do a radius from your location. If you're located on, you know, Hespler Road, you can do a 25-kilometer radius from that location. That's where your ads are going to show up. You can set the hours when the ads show up. If you don't want to market in the middle of the night, you don't have to run ads in the middle of the night. You can focus on keywords or long-tailed keywords. Shorter keywords tend typically to have more competitive people searching for those types of keywords or wanting to be found for those types of keywords. If your keyword is a little longer, then that's less competition and it will help you be found more readily available. So for example, a keyword would be, mechanic. That's a specific keyword that somebody would put into a Google search engine. If you made it mechanic in Cambridge, that's a longer keyword that it has less competition for it. So it drives customer to a specific landing page. You're going to pick the landing page that you want customers to land on when they click a pay-per-click ad. You're not going to have them land on your home page. You're going to have them land on a page that's specific to that keyword. So if it's a mechanic's website and he has a page for oil changes, he wants to drive that traffic to the oil change page. If you want to drive traffic to a contact us page, that's where that traffic is going to be driven to. You're going to be able to track conversions. We track, clicks, impressions, phone calls, form fills. You can track anything on Google Ads, which is important for business owners to know. A lot of times we record phone calls for clients as well, so they can see if that lead turned into a sale. And then you can create remarketing. So once somebody lands on your website or your property, you can remarket to them down the road, which is very important. If somebody leaves your website for some reason and doesn't convert, down the road, you're able to remarket to them on sites that they might be visiting. All right, and there's a lot of different AdWords campaign styles. You can have video ads, app ads, shopping ads, display ads, and search network ads, which are typical Google ads on a Google search engine. Depending on what you want to do, video ads are very popular. People love to see video or images over text. Again, do Google ads help with SEO? I get this question quite a bit from clients. Typically, I would say no. Google's first responsibility is to provide search users with most relevant possible searches. If a business were able to pay for higher rankings in search results, users wouldn't be getting the information that they're looking for. So if you're going to pay, it's an ad. The organic section is for people that work at it, add relevant content to be showing up for what people are searching. Google's all about user experience. So they want to give the users the best experience for what they're trying to search for on their platform. So search engines, by making your page more relevant or improvements to your SEO, can help your rankings on Google. Search engines, by making your page more relevant to users. Running a Google Ads campaign does not help your SEO rankings, despite some myths and claims. However, pay-per-click ads can be useful in connecting with a wider audience online. So should I use Google Ads or SEO? A strong and lasting digital presence requires brands to use both channels. SEO works to get your site ranked higher in organic rankings so that you can rank for customers trying to type in queries, applications for your content. Ads allow you to target particular keyword phrases and then create an ad that promotes your site and content for those using those keywords. Both these channels can help you enhance your overall visibility in search. A strong and lasting digital presence requires both brands to use both channels and craft a strategy that can employ the two together to maximize the online potential of the brand. So it's always better if you can use both together. Obviously, some businesses don't have the resources to do both, but if you can mix both together, that means you have the opportunity to show up on Google page one multiple times. The more times you can show up on page one, the better the chances are that you're going to get that click. So if you can show up in ads, you can show up on Google Maps, you can show up on Google My Business, and you can show up in organic. That's 4 spots on page one, which highly likely you're going to get a click. So what's your goal? If your goal is to rank now, then it's probably going to be pay-per-click. If you have a low budget, it's probably going to be SEO. And if your goal is long-term, again, it's probably going to be SEO. But you got to kind of find out what your goal is first, then you'll be able to decide where or what channel is going to be better for you and your business. So 75% of conversions on Google, or 70% is the average conversion rate on Google Ads. So once somebody clicks on your ad, there's a 75% chance they're going to convert, either with a phone call, a form fill, whatever you're trying to target. So how can Google Ads boost your SEO? One of the things we do for Google Ads with clients is we'll test certain keywords on Google Ads. And if we see they're getting good traction, we'll use those keywords on their website to drive organic search or SEO rankings as well, right? Generate backlinks, boost your organic click-through rate. Remarketing opportunities is always a good one as well. So if you have somebody, you're driving traffic through pay-per-click, they land on your site, we remarket to them through cookies. We're able to follow them around the internet and market those. That will help as well. And then to balance out SEO long-term nature. So, SEO is long-term, pay-per-click is more immediate and short-term. So pay-per-click versus SEO, which affects you and your business the most? It depends on the industry and the budget. Ideally, both SEO and a well-structured pay-per-click campaign tend to lead to the best results for businesses. You'll quickly begin seeing more clicks and leads come in to ensure that your business is making money while you wait for your SEO to pay off. So the SEO, the long-term strategy, that'll take, 6 months, 9 months, a year. Pay-per-click will be quicker. If you can run that in the first little while, that'll help, alleviate some of that downtime. If you have the budget and you need to see an immediate impact, pay-per-click is where you want to go. If you have a longer timeline, you don't need to see those immediate impacts, you want that long-term strategy, then again, SEO is the best way to go. So a good ad campaign generally will spend $10 to $50 per day, right? That's what we recommend for a good ad campaign. So typically you're going to spend, $300 a month and up for a good ad campaign that's going to generate some results. And obviously, a lot of factors will come into play, the competitiveness of the industry, how far you want to market that. So if you're trying to spread $300 a month within Cambridge, it's going to go a lot longer than if you're trying to spend $300 a month within Ontario, which, you're going to spread yourself thin. So the best marketing doesn't feel like marketing. This is a good quote that I like to share with a lot of my clients as well. All right, we're almost done. Melissa, if you could launch the last poll. We getting results, Melissa? I can't see the poll again.
We are getting results.
Awesome. We'll give them a few more seconds and then I'll be able to answer some questions.
Okay, so for PPC, we have 63%.
Wow.
And SEO 69%.
Also pretty even, which is amazing. That's awesome. Okay, I have some time for some questions. I burned through that presentation pretty quickly. So we have quite a few minutes for questions. If anybody's got any questions they want to ask. Melissa, are you able to see any questions?
Yeah, so the first one came through. What is high quality content?
That's a great question. So high quality content would be content that anybody that's searching for, what you offer would want to read that type of content. And a lot of times when you're, building high quality content or, making quality content, whether it's a blog, a video, that type of stuff, you want to I don't want to use the word, dumb it down, but a lot of clients that are looking for your products aren't technical. They're just trying to find something that you sell or service. So you want to the content that you make, whether it be a blog or a video or a social media post, would be relevant to what they're searching for and would be something that they want to see, watch, or read. Any other questions?
We have another question. Using SEO, how long does it take on average to get on the first page of Google?
That's a great question. And if I knew the exact timing, I'd be a millionaire. But unfortunately, Google changes their algorithm quite a few times a year. Actually, last year, I believe over 600 times. So the rules are always changing. And it also, one of the biggest factors with ranking on page one is how competitive your industry is. So if you were like for example, in the financial industry, if banking, that type of stuff, that industry is very competitive. It would probably take, well over a year or two to try to rank on page one. If your industry or service that you're trying to rank for is not highly competitive, then it would be a lot shorter time. But generally, when we do SEO campaigns for clients, we're starting to see results around the 6-month mark where their rankings will start to jump up. And typically, it doesn't mean that you're going to get on page one after 6 months. It just means you're starting to trend that way. And it could take a little while longer, but you have to continue to do those factors for SEO rankings to improve your rankings time after time and start to catch up to your competition and then pass them.
Thank you, George. We do have another question. Can you please explain what a backlink is and why Google allows them or not?
A backlink would be something like if you have a LinkedIn profile and you have your website as part of your profile, that's a good quality backlink. So Google rates those types of backlinks very highly. A bad backlink would be if you're trying to buy backlinks from, some offshore company that has nothing to do with your business or anything like that. That's a backlink that Google doesn't highly rank and might even blacklist your site for. So buying backlinks, bad idea. Good quality backlinks, something like LinkedIn, Facebook, those types of things, social media backlinks, highly rated and will help improve your rankings. Any other questions, Melissa?
Thank you, George. No other questions have come through at this time.
All right. If nobody's got any other questions, it was a pleasure presenting to you today. I'd like to thank Melissa and the Chamber for the opportunity. And if anybody on the call, for some reason, I'm not able to see any faces on my view, but anybody on the call would like to connect, I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. You can just search me up, George Meneses on Toro.